Oh, would you be Aedyr and help with these sprawlings, please?
Looks like she could use our help.
Let's give her a hand.
Here we go. Next one's mine.
Don't get too comfortable. More along the way. Oh, fantastic. People. I was about to lose my wits.
A mind's question. The dust of the Aedyr in her hair. She knocks. We would answer.
You wouldn't happen to have a ladder on hand, would you? Don't take that tone with me, darling. There's a beautiful vase right in those ruins that I cannot reach. And as sharp as my wits are, they are a poor substitute for a ladder. But perhaps we don't need one. You're tall, striking, and well-toned.
If you keep encouraging her, she's going to climb you.
Watch out, envoy. She seems to have a thing for you.
Careful, darling. I already have a lover. A good one. Skilled with his hands. He always carries a ladder. But, sadly, he's busy helping the animancers in Fjord. And I need this vase now. Oh, absolutely not. Vidaro, the governor, is an uptight postinago. But if you want to know about the governor, fetch me that artifact. The vase sits atop that tower beside us, in the ruins there. And once you've got it, look me up. Yatzli, wizard extraordinaire, godless expert, and a Balrog in the bedroom.
You do meet the most interesting people.
I can get you 1,000 faces that don't require going into some ancient ruins. No one listens to me.
Darling, you are aware I can see you digging through my things, aren't you?
Unseen, unknown.
Andra's titties, you found it! I tried using magic to get the vase down, but alas. Thankfully, you and your little friends came along and saved the day.
Excuse me. We're all bigger than you are, Nimdude.
I may be small, but my magic is not, I assure you. Of course I can. Are you a wizard as well? Remarkable. An Aedyr godlike wizard. You're nearly as fascinating as this godless vase. But I'd best pack up. I want to get home. I've a new artifact to study. Thank you for your help, godlike. Even if you didn't have a ladder.
Well, that's something I hope never happens again.
I've got a few inches to spare if she changes her mind.
Watch yourselves.
We make a good squad. Granted, I don't come from...
I need you to stalk like a cat, not stomp around like a rock.
My training was a lot bigger on stomping than stalking, unfortunately.
Right, and I got cooking lessons in Solace, but you don't see me making beetle mash every night for dinner. The bears out here can hear a snap. Envoy? Fior Messiverno, huh? Guess if you're looking for an animancer, that's the place to go. I don't know about all that. They decided to settle in a hostile forest and use animancy to conquer it. We might get there and find that these people aren't as ready and willing to help you as you hope they are. Yeah, looking forward to dragging you people through Emerald Stair, on the distant chance Fior will be feeling generous with their time. I've led a few people there from Paradise or Thirdborn, and I've almost lost someone on every trip.
Someone's slipping.
I said, almost. Just glad I can help. Right, changing the subject. You too. Yeah.
The armored mask. We dream of steel and shard earth and flame. The memory binds. Flee from her. We fear. For us. For you. Blazing ire. It burns and feeds upon itself. pain through the smoke, we recall. You are not safe with her. We reach. The spines tear into us. We pull our hands away. But the old scars do not lie. We burned once. Burned. We know. A storm from the same spark. All pain cuts with the same blade. Steer clear of the scourging fire, or extinguish it. Cull or tend, the bear's blood nourishes the earth. The flame spreads toward the garden wall. Listen, have care, have care.
Good fighting.
You told
As if
us
people
that
weren't
animals
hungry
would
enough.
save our crops. And now look, spoiled on the vine. Zarips won't even touch them.
Animancy is a process. We're talking about a delicate metaphysical ecosystem.
Machines everywhere, and none of them are doing a lick of good.
Intentions and things will get better, I promise.
Got them all. Oh, more of this stuff. Has anyone figured out how to get rid of it?
You're the first godlike to come through in... well, I can't remember how long. I hope that's a good sign. I'll take what I can get. If the gods don't bless us with a harvest soon, this market will be empty come winter. Really? You know the gods don't exactly favor animancy. Some say the old gods aren't here, or maybe they just don't care for the living lands. If you need an animancer, you'll have to clear it with the governor. He lives in the big manor on the far side of town. Let me know if anything strikes your fancy. We don't have much, but the harvest hasn't bled us dry yet.
That's all you've... Last week you said there'd be grain.
I know what I said, but we only have so much to go around.
Are the animants starving as well? Or are they sipping tea?
Take it up with the governor. I don't make the rules. Go home. Lay traps in the woods and pray for gain. I can't help you.
We know you're stashing the grain somewhere. Well, let's have it.
If I had grain, I'd give it to you.
Word of advice, give a wide berth to the governor's manor. Giata's about to tear that poor man a new one. Well, I hope you have a stomach for profanity.
Huh. A woman shouting profanity at leadership? Reminds me of home.
She came storming up the hill with a wheelbarrow full of spoiled crops. Then the shouting started.
Animancers fighting? This I have to see.
This isn't the first time Giata's put the governor in his place, but it might be the last. Look around. The town's overgrown, the crops are dying. What's not to fight about?
Just take a blessed day look outside. Doesn't take a genius to see this place is rolling downhill.
The governor's manor is on the far side of town. You can't miss it. Just follow the sound of foul language.
I was hoping to learn some local curses.
Looking forward to seeing what it looks like when animancers fight.
The Emperor's envoy. Inquisitor Ludwine said you might be heading this way. Captain Alfair of the Steel Garrote. If you're here to speak with Vidaro, I'm afraid you'll find the governor is quite beyond reason. These Valians and their love of animancy. While they theorize and do nothing, the sickness spreads. But worry not, envoy. The Steel Garrote will be ready to ensure the safety of Aedyran interests when the time comes. We all have our part to play, envoy. Until later.
She's as subtle as a broadside.
Does subtle mean something different outside of Solace?
Come on. My invention is
Giata, what's the meaning of this?
Look at these crops. Look at your city.
Dreamscourge and Emerald Stay.
The land begs to differ, and I can prove it.
We can discuss this in private.
How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dreamscourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike? Charmed. Forgive me for staring. It's just, we don't see many of your kind anymore.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Seems more likely you'll have to punch some sense into him.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion. Very well. I hope you remember that behind these walls, your influence has limits.
I'm sure he didn't come all this way just to challenge your authority. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dreamscourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms. Then there's no time to waste arguing with bureaucrats.
I like her already.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dreamscourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did.
They do. And that's the kind of reckless behavior I'm trying to avoid.
Reckless is all we have time for. Before we can deal with the Dreamscourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Once again, bureaucracy stands in the way of getting things done.
I'm just trying to stop Chiata from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. I see you're unfamiliar with animancy. You don't appreciate just how dangerous that could be. Are you going to tell him about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dreamscourge is tearing the Living Lands apart. Tearing our people apart. If I don't have your trust, I am determined to earn it. Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Chiata.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Chiata Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Messiverno.
Banished?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Chiata is an outcast.
It's a bit too soon to tell.
Governor, this is unacceptable. Your father would have kept this community together at any cost.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Mesiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west by the workshop.
Another mouth to feed. Maybe we'll need to let Kai hunt more after all.
I'm sorry you had to witness that spectacle. Jat is a spirited animancer, but she can be intolerable at times. Whatever you may think of us, I welcome you to Fior Mesiverno. I believe the nature of the Living Lands is unpredictable, and animancy is our best chance at getting it under control. But what Giatta wishes to do is more dangerous by far than what she's trying to solve. Quilici wants us panicking over what he can't even prove. If there's a threat to Emerald Stair, it's that old man and his fear-mongering. Don't waste your time on him. Be my guest. Take her away from here. As far as I'm concerned, she's your responsibility.
He reminds me of a lieutenant I served under. Led us into a trap because he wouldn't admit his maps were wrong.
If there's nothing more, I have a city to run.
Is this the governor's mother? Blessed is she. Jane.
No darkness. Only color.
That did not go as I had planned.
What did you think would happen when you confronted him so?
Well, my first idea was to mess up his house. Maybe break a window or two.
Perhaps I should thank you for showing restraint.
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giatta, some manners, if you please.
I thought she was being polite.
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. I can think of one. He's an entitled little worm who can't stand to be proven wrong.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Messiverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone. We'll have fewer resources to work with, but anything's possible. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want, on my terms. The Dreamscourge has been a thorn in my side for too long. In a way, I do. I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dreamscourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you. I never expected to see an Aedyr envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animancers. It's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. Our first order of business is the Dreamscourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days. Wouldn't that be a coincidence? I only bring it up because animancy might offer us some insight into your nature. keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by... I don't even know. I just realized this is the end. I have to leave your Miss Iverno. Forever.
Some people don't find out who they really are until they leave home.
You'll be all right. My advice, find a good tavern and learn how to prepare squirrel over an open flame.
Maybe if I focus on what I have gained, I can learn to accept everything I've lost. When it comes to the Dreamscourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast. Glad to hear it. Your education should come in handy. Manto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Aedyr Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fjord. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name and they'll tell you what they know about the Dreamscourge. I'd rather not speculate until we have more data. If you have questions, I'm sure the others can answer them. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, Imperial envoy, research assistant. Who knew?
Careful! Or we'll get thrown out of the pub! We're all ready. Really?
I had one job, and I couldn't even do that.
My friend, need some water.
Pour you a drink,
Crabs
godlike.
are rude. All!
Can anything be done?
Bly thinks I ought to give up farming, leave Emerald stare.
And the animancers are useless. You heard them arguing out there.
Mindless academics.
Well, I'll be a godlike in the bone and bore. Apologies for the ruckus outside. The animancers never know when to shut their mouths. I might be more amused if it didn't happen so often. But that's animancers for you. Except Giata and Quilici, that is. They are the only animancers taking the Dreamscourge seriously. Try telling that to Vidaro and the animancers. But the rest of us, we've all heard the rumors from outside. Animals gone mad, terrors stalking the wilderness day and night. Birds' bells, of course. If Emerald Stair runs out of food, we are in dire straits anyway. We've had crops fail before, but never food rations. The governor says it's just a temporary precaution, but I am not buying it. So, we ought to drink while we can. Agreed? Anything I can get you? Welcome back, envoy.
Look out for her, Fidelio. How hard could that have been? If I could help myself, do you think I'd be in here? I don't mean that. I have a lot on my plate. My 2 youngest rangers were supposed to report back from their rounds. I assumed they'd turn up. But it's been 3 days now. They're still not here. Praise Ilia. Their names are Belena and Adalaro. I doubt they'll be apart. They were good rangers once. But since they've caught each other's eye, all they do is sneak off to... I think they know each other very well.
Well, there's worse places to make the four-legged beast. I promise you that.
New recruits running off with each other? Oh man, this brings me back.
Anyway, I never thought I had any cause for concern. They always found their way back eventually, but they haven't this time. They're out there, all alone, and they could be in danger, and I... What they're doing is their business, but rangers have to come when they are called. Wait, gods, you're relentless. The point is, they've never been gone this long. The last time I saw them, I sent them to patrol the northern riverbed. If you go that way, please, keep an eye out for them. I'm losing my mind in here.
2 young Nimdutan wandering out by a river. Consider them found.
Maybe we don't look too soon. Give them a while. Know what I mean?
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, Amico.